we are here now to talk about our businesses, how to make our businesses grow. You came here because it's like lead generation. How do I get more business? How do I close more business in the climate of leaving 2024 and moving into 2025? How do I close more deals? And so that's some of the things that we're going to talk about today, because now is the time for us to really grasp, our future. Now is the time for us to decide, do I want my business to be successful? I'm going to talk about how do we use the elements of kvCORE, how do we use the right strategies, and what can we do to pivot. The most important thing that we have to do as a business owner is decide, who do we want our clients to be? And then we have to decide, how are they going to find me and how am I going to find them? Building our business on referrals is great. When you get to the age that I am, and we have people that have been in the business for 7+ years, it should be the point in time, maybe 5 years, where we start to get that repeat and referral business. And in order for us to get that, because we know that 87% of the people would use the same person, but then what is it, like 13% of the people don't? It's because we don't stay in touch with them. That's another story, and we can talk about that at the end of the presentation. But if we can move and fix that, if we can get the right leads at the beginning, and we can start to attract those and stand out in the crowd, of course, the people that refer us are going to look even more proud and impressive, because they're saying, this is my person. And then they go check you out. They see your reviews online. They go to your website and they're like, perfect. I just needed that extra stamp of approval. They needed one more step of due diligence. But what happens if you can go through and you start getting these better leads and they start to want you, and then you start to get the repeat and referral business that compounds over time? Right? And there's a lot of people here that know that I'm a big proponent of workflow automation. I have my own techniques. I call it, my own $1 million lead follow-up system. But today we're talking about that lead generation and the online brand that 100% contributes to the confidence that my past clients have, the confidence that your past clients are going to have, and the people and the confidence that they're going to have in you when they start coming to you online. Okay, so the traditional website. So there's 3 things that I want to focus on right now. So the first thing is a traditional website, which is very flat. It's very boring, right? Much like the first one that we had. It's just a presence, right? When people put like a resource on there, things that, top 10 things to, buying a home, that's cool. But unfortunately, they can get it at a lot of different places. So there's some components of it that we want to add in there, but we want to move the whole website. This is what I learned. We have to move from a traditional boring website to a sales funnel. Okay, that's the first thing that I learned. The second thing that I learned, like I showed you with the I Love Lucy, like I showed you with the amount of money that I spent, is that we don't need 1 million different leads or thousands or hundreds. We need quality leads. Like Leslie was saying, people are coming to her website. She thought she was doing it right, but these couple little devilish details were making the difference of her getting the people that were coming there, her website presence, her funnels, and then she didn't need as many, and she was converting more deals. Okay, the third thing that I learned is that the follow-up needs to follow time. Okay, Jeff, good to see you. Jeff will say with a wave, way different than buyer-seller structure. The follow-up is based on experience and it follows up on time. So that is a huge part of something that I learned, is that the follow-up is where the fortune is. And there's a lot of devilish details there. So because of this lead management system that starts with the online, starts with the customer journey, and ends with the conversion, the follow-up in the middle, this is what I call my lead management system. That is how I've been able to experience the fulfillment and the abundance. This is one of my beautiful homes that we built out of nothing, and then we made it beautiful. So this is where I'm at today. It's given me a life that is wonderful, and that's what I want for you. So it would be even more fun to share in here. Like if you could have 2 dreams, if you could have an extra $500,000, if you could have an extra $3 million, what would it do to your life? share that, just share that with me. Would it be an extra vacation? Share with other people, like, let's inspire. What's the number that you would go to that if you were able to increase your production? This is the fun part, right? This is what we need to think about. So the first thing, the first secret, moving your website from boring to a sales funnel. Making sure that we all know this, because I know there's new agents to experienced agents. We have to remember that most agents are great at contracts, or you become great at contracts, you become great at protecting your buyers, you become great as listing agents, but most agents aren't good at marketing. It just kind of gets skipped, right? And marketing is critical. It is the first place that a successful agent will learn how to do. Any business owner learns how to do. You don't start a restaurant by just throwing it in here. You decide where your location is, how much money you want to make, how many tables do you need, what is the system for the whole inside staff going to do, and then put the marketing out there to attract clientele that is a more high-end restaurant. The marketing will look different than the carry-out restaurant where you come in and you get a sandwich, right? Will we agree that the marketing looks way different? It's the same thing as real estate agents. We have to put our entrepreneur hat on. Then we do our lead generation, and notice as we get all the way to the blue, the repeat and referral is where the mega fortune starts to make. So people talk about the referrals. Miss Rose, I would imagine you've been in business for a long period of time. If not, then just share with me. I see that you're there. And Miss Carol wants to have 2 properties, a beachfront in the Caribbean, love, big Caribbean fan, and a mansion ranch in the mountains. So she wants to experience both climates, which is awesome. Okay, so this is important. So your online brand will be judged. We just judged another website. Okay, this is our business. We have to remember this. We could go out to your Instagram, go to your Facebook. When you first look at it, does it tell people exactly where you work? Does it help people know who you are? Will they get to know you, get to like you, get to trust you? Right? At least Scott starts out with somebody going, okay, I can see that you're in commercial and business, and I can see where you're at. So at least I can see that. And he has a bit of a luxury, a bit of a masculine look of colors. That's his brand. I'm going to show Carla's a little bit more. She wants luxury. It's expensive in California, but she wanted to elevate it. So it says luxury homes. It doesn't matter if you've never sold a luxury home. They're going to think that you do. And we have to remember that you have to do this. We have to do this because this is our business. I didn't always think about it this way. I didn't really focus on a niche until maybe 10, 12 years into the business. And then I was like, I don't like working with those kind of leads. Those leads kind of suck. I don't want to work in that town. Right? Has anybody figured out like the furthest amount away that you want to drive? Right? Jeff, I see you shaking your head. I know that you wanted to elevate to go to water-oriented homes, right? I'll show some more homes in there. So Jeff is one of our boss owners, and he's out of Annapolis. So we love to see him here again. But this is your business, right? And Jeff was one of the people that'll come back. He was in our video earlier where he talked about his website helped him bring in $1 million referral, right? That's great. So yeah. So, and then the online brand, we can't be boring or flat. Nobody wants to work with a boring or a flat person. People want to work with who they know, like, and trust. So we need to like just open up the door and let them know, like, and trust us, right? I'm going to kind of go back and forth on my website soon. I want business closer to my home. Exactly. Like I used to do business everywhere. Anybody else used to, I'm going to take this business over here. And then you were able to hone in to like 20 minutes from their home. What's the furthest away that you're working now? And what's the furthest away that you would like to work in the future? Anybody want to share that? Like, I'm going this far now, but I'd like to be able to go this far in my future, right? That is so let me come up here and I'm going to just do some demos with you. So inside of my website here, okay, you can see here that for our niche, I've gone through expireds, still love expireds. I've gone through circle prospecting. We've talked about that when I wanted high volume. Then also I went through probate, downsizing, right sizing, and all of these different things. And then, so your sources can change and your website can change. Okay. So the things that is in here, we started focusing on people that want to buy and sell at the same time, because that also means that we get 2 transactions with 1 client. right? That's how all of a sudden I can not usually double the transaction because they move up or down in price, but let's just say whatever it is, instead of a $500,000 sale, then they're moving up to 750, that's 1.25, or if you're at a 300,000 and they're going to go up to 500, that's 800,000. So in our niche, like that's me as a business owner, I'm like, I want to work smarter and not harder. But in our website here, we have these things, selling and buying at the same time. So kvCORE does allow us to build custom pages. So this is my Kim Barber group. If my team wants to put that down in the chat so people can check it out. But a lot of people are like, I didn't know this was a kvCORE site. Now I did pay for the semi-custom site. So some of the fancy backgrounds and some of these highlights like over what have you here that is required. There's a few things here that are slightly different, but at the end of the day, they've come a long way to allow us to have a similar feature, but you just don't have those fancy colors or the highlights look different. So people are like, do I really need it or not? That's up to you. They've come with a lot of templates, but it's still the same luxury site, right? Inside of here, though, we went with people that want to buy and sell at the same time, and then we can have some guides. So what happens here is the funnel, right? Coming back to, is this a flat and boring website like we had some in here? No, it's not that. We come over to here and I want them to say, okay, where are we? Northern Virginia and West Virginia. Everybody should have where they work very clear on their website. We moved Carla's from, I don't want to remind you, it had 2 layers of the California stuff, the license stuff. And then we're like, we need to make you stand out in the crowd, at least starting with a tagline that we just helped her to do. And then now it's more niche down into a specific area. And even in the chat, she's like, I want to niche it, she wants to even work, in even a more close area, which, I'm confident that she will do. Right. And so inside of here, you can come down into here. And so notice these boxes here, your search starts, right? That's just get started. What's my home worth? That's fine. Right. But a difference is that thinking of buying and selling a video, this is a kvCORE website. I actually built most of this website myself. How about if you want to schedule a time with me? So this is the funnel. Somebody can come here and they can have an interaction with you, and we can funnel them into our backend or funnel in so they can make an appointment right from our website. They can get a consultation. This is also a call to action. So the difference of a funnel is that it's moving them from one place to the next, and we're funneling them into our system, right? These are a little bit fancier, but I want you to see the things that you can do. Even in here, some case studies, right? We help people buy and sell at the same time, and we help people maximize their home value. So hopefully these are some of the triggers. If you want to get to over $1 million, one of the easiest ways to do, or over double your sales price, average sales price, because I know not everybody has these high price ranges, then try to figure out how you can work with people who want to buy and sell at the same time. So inside of here, these are case studies. It doesn't look particularly fancy, but it shows people what we've done. A simple image. Hey, we've done this. Here's a case study of what we did. There's some SEO built in here, some before and after pictures that can be on your website. And then what's most important in here is that they can set up a consultation with us, and so that they have now a funnel. If it was just boring with no call to action, there would be no way for us to capture their information. So we want to make sure that we see the journey that somebody can go on, and so that's the same thing over here. So we do help people set these things up. But I just want you to see this experience that you can start to stand out. So they can go from boring to progressing to the communities and things that you can actually, start to see where people are honed in. Notice mine doesn't have a huge laundry list of areas because we've been fortunate enough to really scale it down. But then, like Miss Rose, my team, this is my main one, but my team members have their own communities, and you can actually they can do their own blogs. And so that if they had specific areas they want to do, they can do that. So the takeaway from this is I want you to see that, oops, don't want to have that. Wrong button. Is that we want to pivot the journey that somebody has so that we're sending the message of who is the ideal client. And what happens with this? We show up at listing presentations and those referrals, and the website has sold it. They've already sold us. So we don't have to spend all this time or worry, or conversions is higher. And that's the business owner mentalities.